what's going on, guys? I'm finally back at Bavaria Motor Cars in Grafenwehr, Germany, and they were kind enough to let me take the new BMW XM out for a demo drive and to review it and see how it drives. I got to drive a BMW X5 M50i for a few months with them while I was waiting for my M3 to get delivered, and so I'm going to be kind of comparing it to that because that's like the only kind of BMW M sort of, if you want to call it M, experience that I have. Currently, right now, we are in electric only drive, and it's, you know, very smooth. It's what you'd expect of a normal SUV. Right now I got Apple CarPlay set up. I mean, it's been a while since I've driven on the iDrive 8, or I don't know if they have a new version for this, but it's pretty similar to the iDrive 8 that I had in my M3 competition very briefly. So right now, you know, it's very smooth, it's comfortable. It's not as luxurious in the interior, which was surprising to me compared to the X5. I didn't really expect it, but it's more sporty in here. I mean, I guess you could say you could expect it with the Premier XM, you know, the Premier M car. But the biggest thing that I noticed when I got to see this car at the museum in Munich was the roof. The roof is really nice. It has some really nice LED lights and some cool animations that go on when you turn the car on and such. That's really cool. I mean, does it warrant a $150,000 price tag? I don't know. Probably not for me. But I mean, so far, just even on the electric motor alone, it's cruising very well. Good acceleration. Although we're in the city, I'm not trying to accelerate too much, but for normal city driving, this is, I mean, what you'd expect of like a normal car. And I'm sure once you take it out on the back roads or the Autobahn or highway or wherever it is, the V8 is going to really give it a nice punch that it needs, especially for such a large car like this. You know, people always joke around about a lot of these cars nowadays, they're called like boats and such. I call this something a little bit more than a boat. I call this a land yacht. I mean, that's pretty much what this is a freaking yacht at this point. It is much larger than a boat, so you're not gonna, I wouldn't expect acceleration or speed faster than, like, for example, an X6M, even with the hybrid assist and the V8 and all that going on with this car. Maybe with the, I think it's the red badge they're calling it, for the more powerful version, it might be a little bit faster. But from my experience with the X5 M50i on the Autobahn, once you get past, like, let's say, I think maybe 180 kilometers an hour, which is, I think, like maybe 115 miles per hour, you're not really going to really get to use that power, because with all the wind resistance and the drag from the you know, big ass vehicle, and then also it's not as stable. Again, it wasn't the X5M that I was driving, so it could be a lot more stable at higher speeds compared to the M50i, but still, like, if I want to go really fast, I'm gonna get like a sports car. So it's still in electric mode right now, and the way to get it into normal mode is switching to Sport Plus. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Sport Plus, and you might have heard the engine fire up. Of course, it has the electronic sound to it, so it's not 100% authentic V8 sound, but it definitely gives you that, it lets you know that the engine's running, and it actually sounds kind of nice anyways. So I need to see how I can tell the engine temperature, because I want to give it a nice launch, but but I don't know where the engine temperatures are. We'll drive it around for a little bit and then we'll give it a launch. So far, with the engine running, it is, again, still very smooth. And then you get that sound of the V8. It's really nice. I'm not going to really touch too much on the exterior looks because at the end of the day, I mean, we've seen hundreds of photos, millions of photos probably of this car. Everyone has their own opinion, and some people like it, some people don't. So I think the biggest thing right now is to just look at what kind of driving experience it offers and see if it's worth that $150,000 price tag. And unfortunately, I can't go or do too much with this because it's just a little demo drive just around the area in the back roads, so I can't take it out on the Autobahn. It's a little too far away for that. Wow, just tapping the gas, it's got a little bit of acceleration to it. And I would say this definitely has that swagger kind of vibe to it. Like when you're driving this, you get this, at least from what I imagine with this car, you get this to just basically look like a baller on the road, and you feel like a baller on the road right now. I mean, I feel like I'm a baller. Like, how many people do you see driving around the streets with a BMW XM? I haven't seen a single one on the road yet. I've seen other nice cars, but I haven't seen an XM. So if you want to stand out, that's definitely something to consider for this car, at least for now. Then of course you have that sportiness of the big V8. Still has a V8, which is nice, and then also the electric hybrid assist. So you get that speed, acceleration, and somewhat of the sound too. But then also you have just that road presence of this beast of a car. A yacht almost. It's like rolling around Monaco with like the biggest yacht. That's like what this is right here on the road. People see you driving around with this, they're like, alright, this guy's a baller. If that's what you're going for. For me, not so much, but it is pretty cool to have the experience to drive it. And I can't thank Bavarian Motor Cars enough, especially Carl, the salesman there, allowing me to do this. Can't really show too much of the technology on this either because I don't really know the car that well. Again, I just hopped in the car, turned my GoPro on, and here we are recording. So I'm sure if you get to spend a week, maybe a month with this, you get to learn a lot more of the driving infotainment and all the technology that the car offers. But when you get a car like this, do you really care so much about all that stuff? For me, not so much. Maybe for you, maybe for some of you, it's the entire package. You want everything, and this car definitely offers you a little bit of everything besides taking it to the track. Although I'm sure you could take it to the track, I would not take a car like this to the track though. But I'm sure it's possible. Alright, if there's no traffic coming my way, we're going to give it a nice little launch. Alright. And that brake's good. So I'm not sure if I launched it properly. I just held down the brake, mashed the gas pedal for a second or two, and let off the brake and let the car do its thing. as you'd expect from a very heavy car, it's not going to accelerate as fast as you'd expect. It definitely gives you that sensation of launching, but I'd say it's kind of, I'll compare it to launching on the M340i. Very similar to that in terms of like the speed and how quickly it gets up to 160 kilometers an hour or 100 miles per hour. Or if you want to, you know, do the typical 0 to 60 time, you can do that too. But either way, it's you know, for what it is, it's a pretty impressive car. And again, it has that presence on the road, which is what I think a lot of people like to, you know, what they consider when they get a car like this. So alright, we're gonna give it one more launch. I'm gonna do a little bit down here. It's going to be on a little bit of a decline, so it might be a little bit faster of acceleration, but again, this is not some super scientific test that we're doing here. All right. That was a lot faster. That was definitely a lot faster than the first time. Definitely gets the blood rushing, you know, towards the back of you, to the back of your head. That was fun.